Okay, if you guys don't mind, like, bring up your live if you can on YouTube
Uh,
and hit the like button. Can you bring up your live on your YouTube
I think I have to. Let me see.
and hit the like button
Bring up your live.
and write in the YouTube, like, type.
Oh, then player
Things like great topic. I don't know,
live tonight.
things to say. That way we have some chatter in the chat. All right, guys, do me a favor and put some words in that chat. I'll be right back.
Mm-hmm. There is it.
Yeah, hello? Hello?
Yes, I'm
Hello?
here. I'm here.
I'm here also.
Okay, I can't find my charger, so I'm gonna have you guys start the discussion while I look for it. So, um, tonight's topic, we're gonna discuss, our culture, just random things that we'll discuss, and hopefully we'll be able to touch on some good points, but everything is gonna be some negative and some positive. More so positive because we are a financial literacy program, and we're gonna use like finance, you know, to see if finance can actually solve, some problem based off of decisions made financially. So we're going to start by introducing myself. I'm Savon Smith, founder of Savon's Academy Stars, which is a basketball program with the city of Royal Palm Beach and West Palm Beach. And I'm the founder of Founding Players as well, which is this YouTube channel. And Founding Players came to be because of the founding players of Savant's Academy Stars. I wanted to give my appreciation back to those players that I started that program with. I was fortunate enough to, start my own program and went to my city, and my city decided to hire me as an independent contractor to run their basketball program. It's a nonprofit again, so I'm fortunate and I'm happy. There is excitement over the years, and listen, COVID kind of put a little damper in that, but you know what? We're on our way back, and currently I'm into stocks and it's doing well for me. And I use this YouTube channel to share, the stocks that I get into. We have a group of people that we come together and we share and we do research and we share with people. But tonight topic, we're going to speak on culture. All right. So one of the things that I'll start it and then I'll kind of leave, and then you guys can have the discussion based off of what I'm going to bring up. One of the things I want to bring up is, helping, my family and friends, in the island, actually, yeah, in the island. Sometimes I personally feel like, you know, I want to help and I do help, but I'm going to use credit, for instance. Sometimes, we're sending credit to family members in Jamaica. And if we have 10 people we want to send credit to, sometimes $10 each, is $100. And normally a phone bill could be $100. Some people phone bills even more than that. But a lot of times when you help someone out, you want to kind of feel like, you know what? I don't mind helping this person because this person appreciates what you do for them. So it'll help you to even help more when someone is like really appreciative of what you're doing. So my take is I just don't want to be given, which you can give from your heart. But a lot of times a lot of people won't keep giving if you don't feel appreciated. And a lot of times our culture is say, hey, just give and that's it. You don't have to expect anything back. But I'll use this positive, So it may sound negative that to some people that given that you're just supposed to give and not want anything back, and maybe we should this is the positive part of it. Maybe we should treat our life like a business. And what I mean by that is use my program, for instance. And it's a nonprofit. If a company, let's just say Applebee's or Lashushan, since people from Jamaica may know what Lashushan is. So let's just say Lashushan decided to sponsor us $100,000 for 2020. And when 2020 is over and you try to get a sponsorship from them for 2021, they may tell you no, they can't sponsor you for 2021. And one of the reasons why a company who used to sponsor you would decide not to sponsor you is because you did not give them a thank you letter. You did not maybe send some of the kids that is in your program to go maybe help one of the people, help pick up carts and bring them back in the store. Little things like that. For someone helping your program out, you want to give them back a helping hand to show them that, you know what, we appreciate what you did for us in 2020. That way they can do the same thing in 2021, and I equal that to when you're helping your family members or friends, you kind of want to feel that same feeling. You don't just want to collect the donation that Lashushan gave you and expect them to give it to you again next year, because they most likely are not. And what they're going to do is they're going to find the organization who is actually sending the kids to come pick up cards. Yes, they may have their workers that they pay to pick up cards, but let them tell your kids no, or tell the program director, no, I don't need you to do that. But the gesture, we appreciate that. So let somebody tell you, no, you don't have to do that. That way you make the gesture and they'll appreciate that. So that's my take on that. So I'm going to step away and you guys can discuss that and tell me what's your thing. If you wanted to add to that, or what's your thing that you feel you've done that, you feel like people could treat you a little bit better for what you've done.
Ladies first. Actually, let me introduce myself. Andrew Jackson, home improvement contractor. And that's about it. We got to keep it short and sweet tonight. Anna?
I'm here. Can you give me one moment? Because I'm kind of currently taking care of my son. So I'll be with you momentarily, okay?
All right, I'll go ahead and I'll talk. All right.
Okay.
Oh, Andrew, if you can either a little closer to the mic, you sound a little far away, or maybe.
Is this better?
Yes.
All right, so
Before you get started, I can hear you, but I'm just gonna look for my charger.
all right. So based on what you said about being appreciated by people, I think what happened is everybody change with times. So even, we got to change how we do stuff. and maybe stop giving people money and sending them, because a lot of people are very literate about finance, you know? So
Yeah.
we got to stop giving them money and giving them tools, to create a future for themselves, because, you know, if
Mhm.
you can handle money, then you're not going to be able to figure your life out, because if, you know, a lot of people think that money solve everything. It's not in that kind of way. So, but my thing is it, you know, scale back a lot by helping a lot of, you got to see, you can test people and see what they want out of life. Some of them just want to live for today or tomorrow, and some of them don't want no future. I have a lot of example of that. And it's not just our culture, it's in this country too. What I mean? You have like, and I can never understand it. Like, everybody go through hardship, but you see some people on the side of the street begging money, and they look stronger than me or you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I can never understand why in this country, like where there's, no matter how bad it is or bad the economy is, there's always opportunity for somebody to do something to make some kind of money. That's how I look at it. But everybody have them situation. Everybody deal with stuff different. So with that said, um, the Jamaican mentality, because that's what I can talk, and I only can talk about here, and I'm not gonna go by earshare or speculations. I only can speak on stuff that I see growing up in Jamaica, and I go back there a lot, and stuff that I see here, even in the community, that with Jamaican people here. A lot of people come here from Jamaica. And I'm not going to say we anymore, because there is no we, it's them and me. Because when you say we now, it's like you're putting grouping yourself with them, but you're different. So if you keep grouping yourself with them, it's like you're pulling your own self down, because you're going to think that you have to help those people all the time that's not even trying to help themselves. With that said, I see people come up here already. I've seen people come here. I've bailed people out of jail already that come here. And the same day when them come here, them try to sell drugs the same day that they got here. And they were in jail within a matter of 6 hours of being here, because they come here and think that, you know, whatever, you have some people come here and they'll sell drugs and go back to Jamaica and act like it's a bed of roses, and it's different. So a lot of people don't understand that. Like, I've been here how many years now? Over 30 years. And it's not hard to make a life. What I mean? So, but this thing where, illiteracy, like if you're illiterate with dealing with life, I think you're illiterate with dealing with money. You're illiterate with dealing with a lot of stuff. So it's a teaching process. We gotta start from scratch, I think, by teaching people. A lot of people who I know that have education, they know how things are in this country. I don't even have to tell a couple people, like, what I mean, a few maybe that, they know, like, working here, working in the coal, going to work every day. If you don't pay your bills, them stuff is gonna get cut off. What I mean? And then now there's some of them now live by hearsay, and they think that they know everything, because you're in America. You're not supposed to be broke. You're supposed to have money. You're supposed to, you know, buying expensive stuff. You're not supposed to have a piece of crappy car, because you're in America. That's not how it is. I understand you have to change some things in your life to, if you don't pay your bills here, trust me, stuff is gonna get cut off. You're gonna get put out on the street. It's not that easy. Not like Jamaica, if you have a house, if your light cut off, you can go figure some stuff out and still live somewhere. You don't pay taxes, you maybe can live forever wherever you're at. But the concept now is what I realize for, I would say, like the last 20 years, there's this thing where everybody think that it's just partying. We got to party. You know what I mean? Like party your way out of problems. You can't party like everything is a dance and a party. And I'm not saying it's everybody, but most of the people them who, when you look, especially, everybody like to be a star now because everybody posts things on the internet. But when you look at them, is it's just like they're living for that moment. You know what I mean? There's no future plan. Like even my thing is, you're saying that you're partying. You're gonna go to party, you're gonna buy stuff to go to party to look a certain kind of way, to be on videos, taking pictures. But guess what? Your kids are dying for hunger. You know, have your next meal for tomorrow. You know what I mean? Instead of you try to figure out a way out of what you're going through, you're gonna party your way out. But guess what? I've seen it where people said, okay, what I mean, I have to have fun today because it takes the problem away. But if every day you have to figure out a way to have fun to take the problem away, then the problem is always going to be there. You know what I mean? The way that they look at stuff, and they know you really can't reason with illiterate people because I've tried it already to show people different kind of way about life. But they might go tell me, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. People lied to me already, ripped me off and stuff like that. That, you can't tell them anything because I think once a person get to a certain age, there's no telling them anything, especially if they can't read and write. You're speaking a different language to them. You know what I mean? So it's a difficult process. It's like I think Jamaica on the whole um need to change from being this party island that's broke because you cannot broke and party at the same time. You know what I mean? And even in the communities, they need to figure out a way how to uplift themselves because you can't keep blaming everything on government. You know what I mean? Government, this government, that everything is government. No, you're the people that will elect the government. So it start with the community. And if you have separation in the community where they're they can come together to party, but they can't come together to figure other stuff out. And killing and crimes are separating everything. Then if you put that mix together, it's not a good mix because that's the reason why some people they have to stay in the communities and then they have to follow what's going on in the community because if they don't, then you're an informer, you're this because just imagine somebody keeping a party and you go to them and say, well, I have to go to work tomorrow, turn the music down. You can get killed for stuff like that. And those are illiterate people that think that the music matter over creating a sustainable life for themselves because that's what they know and that's what they believe in because they don't look beyond that. You know what I mean? It's a very difficult process. And I think it's the years to come is going to get more dangerous because, and the only thing that we see in Jamaica is the bad things. I hear of the bad stuff, but there's still a lot of good people down there. And it's going to take a whole community and, real good communication to really change a lot of people mindset because some of them it's very difficult to talk to them. So with that said, I have more to say. So I don't know if Anna is ready. And or you can take it over and we keep talking back and forth until she is.
No, I'm here. I'm ready.
Yeah, I want Anna to, speak on her. Let's hear hers. But before you go, Anna, I heard everything that you just said, and for those people out there that's listening, they also heard. But like I said, there has to be a solution to the problems. We can't solve everybody's problem, that's for sure. But I know 85% of the population, which is a high, and I'm not just speaking of Jamaica, I'm speaking of people that's living on planet Earth. It's just a lot of us that need to take the time to educate ourselves a lot more. I always refer to when COVID came out. Most people I know are scientists. They know what, the reason for COVID is. They know this, they know that, and you just start passing around information and you really don't know much because you're not the scientist. You really don't know. And long story short, I basically invested, and I spend more time investing in what's happening than to try to break down negatively what's happening because of COVID. So yeah, we can harp on the problems, but what's the solution? We can sit there and cry that COVID is here. Or are we gonna say, you know what, this is an opportunity to capitalize on the vaccine that they come out with? So decisions need to be made, and sometimes you gotta make decisions rather than sit there and just go around in circles and not accomplish nothing. So solutions to what you just said, and we'll get to the solution after Anna.
My time now to talk?
Yes, ma'am. Don't get no trouble.
I promise I won't. So do I have to reintroduce myself to everyone?
Sure.
Okay. Yes, Jamar, take it and go. Sorry, my 7-year-old. My name is Anna Murdoch. I was here on the last time, and I was listening to what Andrew was saying, and everything that he's saying, I agree 100% with him. But then there's also another side of the coin that many people don't look at. I think one of the main things that is wrong with our Caribbean people is because it's us within ourselves, because many of them that have come to to America, or say anything out of Jamaica, once they go back, they tend to portray a life to them that is not real. So of course, you go and you portray a certain type of image to them. In their mind, you're gonna think, okay, well, you're rich. So I think it stems deeper than just we leaving the island and coming here and thinking that, okay, everything is all rosy on this side. But if you really pay attention, there is like a small percentage of people that actually go back down there that actually portray a life that is not real. Do you understand what I'm trying to say, Savon? Like many of the people that are here, they'll go there when say for example, income tax time is around the corner, right? Many people get them income tax. Many people want to travel the world because many people don't really have it throughout the year to really enjoy life. So they go down there, they want to party and enjoy themselves. Okay, that's fine. But then they portray this image to them as if it's all rosy up here when it's not real, when we're actually hardworking people, because they actually have a better life than we do here. And then to address the family members that's always depending and asking, like I have come into contact with family members that I actually help. And when I try to explain my position and be like, okay, so, well, I do not have it, they think I'm lying. So it's like, it weighs on both sides. It weighs on both sides. Yes, the Jamaican people can do better, but sometimes we have to open them up to do better, because there are people there that is willing to learn, willing to try for themselves. But these people are not being highlighted. And then we, as people that are outside of Jamaica, we need to show them the truth of what it really is. Like in Jamaica, they don't really pay bills like that. We pay bills every month. Even when we're dead, we still have to pay bills. But then on their end, if they call here and they ask, you tell them no, the first thing, you get a death threat, you are ungrateful, you are all types of manner of evil, which is not true. So I think it worked both ways, but I do agree with Andrew on a lot of things, like they don't want to work, which is true. Most of them believe like them born with a sense, as my grandmother would say, golden spoon in the mouth. So that's just basically my view so far.
Okay. All right. I'll touch on something based off of what you said about, maybe Jamaicans that used to live in Jamaica, coming to the US or any other country that they go to, because, we're everywhere. Jamaicans, we're everywhere. So they going back and maybe portraying a lifestyle to kind of trick people into believing that this is how it really is. You're right. I think you're right that that's also part of the problem. We have a nice island and we have nice women. And, speaking from a man standpoint, we have nice women in Jamaica. Jamaican women are, there's quite a few different cultures of women that's out there that's very nice. And, I can say, okay, yes, Jamaican women are nice women. And there is something about men saving up their money and going to Jamaica to blow their money, to show off. And it happens here in the state as well. You don't even have to go to Jamaica to do this. They do this in any place you go on vacation. You work in a 9 to 5, and let's just say you make $20 an hour. Let's equal it to $500 a week. You make $1,000. Just say you make $2,000 in a month, all right, on average. And you decide you were going to go to Jamaica. This is January, you started making $2,000. And in February or in April, you decide you're going to go to Jamaica. So let's just say you saved $1,000 each month to go to Jamaica. So by April, you have $4,000. And you go into Jamaica and pretending like this $4,000 is $4 million. And then once you finish that, you're broke. But let's just say you went down there with $10,000 and you portray like you have this money because you saved that money and you went to Jamaica to just pretend that you have that money. They don't really know that you're just pretending because you basically saved this, but you're coming back broke. You're coming back to basically work and try to do it again. And you're not doing it again soon. You're doing it again far apart because you got to work that money back up. You probably won't even see you till 2 years from now, and I think a lot of people do that. I travel to Jamaica quite often, almost every month. In order for me to be able to do that, I have to budget myself very well to be able to do that. Some people do that to waste money. I do that because it helped me to build an actual business in Jamaica. So that money is well spent. It's not wasted. Now, the only thing I can say about what I've done traveling since 2018, I've been traveling almost every month to Jamaica. What I've done is learn, I opened up my eyes because of COVID, and I learned that, okay, even if you have that money to spend, you should actually invest more of it, because it do no good for you to not build generational wealth and just to be spending every single month and going to Jamaica. What is your reason for going so often? And I know my reason, and I have to look at the reason why I was there so often. I have my family there, and I have someone there, so I have to look at that and wonder, am I spending wisely? And COVID opened up my eyes for that. So what we need is solution for people that travel to Jamaica often to open up their eyes and ask themselves, why am I working so hard just to take a vacation to go and pretend? And that's what I see a lot. And that's what you were talking about, Anna, is like going there to just pretend. When I'm there, I'm mainly in the house. I'm not out. I don't go to no parties. I'm mainly home. I go and I stay in the house. If I do anything, it's more like going out to eat or buying food and staying home and cooking, So that's my take. So somebody else can go.
Okay. I'm gonna say some stuff you guys might disagree with me.
Huh?
I'm gonna say some things that you might disagree with. Can you hear me?
Oh Lord.
I know both of you guys gonna disagree with me.
Hold on. Before you go then. All right, go ahead.
All right, this is what it is. Me, you, Anna, and I know a lot of people gonna agree with what I said. We need to start making people be responsible for themselves. So when you're saying people going down there and flossing and showing them stuff, right? It doesn't matter what somebody show you, because if you really think about it, right? People is gonna go to Jamaica, people is gonna go do stuff, but the irresponsible people them that don't take their life into their own hand and always dependent on people to do stuff for them, right? If they don't stop looking at what people have and how people live them life and be responsible. Be responsible, get an education. Be responsible. Stop fighting against one another. Be responsible by taking care of your family. Be responsible for not. I know people, I've seen it for myself. They rather buy bleaching cream than buy food to eat. You understand what I'm saying? So the thing is if they're gonna be irresponsible and do stupidness, then you can't other people can't be responsible for people that's irresponsible. So that's where you gotta start. As long as they're responsible for their actions, they can't expect other people, you know, like that's the thing we fall into the trap all the time to be helping people that's not really helping themselves. So all you have to do, you can't give them money and bail them out of situation when they rather go to party, go to dance, go buy hair and nails and stuff like that instead of like even farming a business, taking care of your community. You know what I mean? So that's the first thing. Like this thing that came forward from years ago where people try to help people from like back in the days, it's the same trend today. So people think that when you're in America, you're supposed to send them stuff and deal with them because you're better off, but yet still they're not trying to do anything for themselves, right? So that have to end. People have to just hang it up and say, listen to me, you gotta give them the tools. If you want to go back to school, I'll help you to go back to school, but not send your money, not send your credit, because where I do the credit, all you're gonna do is sit there and you're not calling to get a job. You know what I mean? And it's like a thing where the mentality is if I don't send it to you, then I have it. But you don't know what I have. I have it, but I'm not helping you out. But I'm trying to help you, but how long it happened to me? How long should you help a person until them realize that, you know what I mean, you can't help them no more because at some point in their life, you know, you have responsibilities. So if somebody's just going to sit there and think, so, well, okay, he's here and he's making it, that's the thing we need to get out of our heads that, you know what I mean, it's this whole thing from back in the days. You know, there's no excuse anymore for people know what's going on in the world, know how to deal with stuff, but they rather dance to the latest music or, you know what I mean, Snapchatting or whatever, stuff like that. But people have to be responsible. And it's very hard to say this, but if they're not responsible, they won't be. And who want to be responsible, who want to forget stuff out their life, they will figure a way out. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, if I was in Jamaica, no matter how bad things is down there, I would figure out some stuff. You know what I mean? Trust me, I wouldn't be. There's stuff down there where you can do and take care of things and get it done. But the thing what we need to realize is like, you know, it's tough to say this because when you grow up, you were taught to help each other, but some people are helped down. They don't try to help you up. You know what I mean? They're always looking away. And then now, first of all, if somebody tell you that they don't have it, don't get an attitude and don't cuss or don't send threat because guess what? You don't mean the person well. You know, so this is this mentality where we're having, you know what I mean, a discussion all the time about helping people, but them not help themselves. That's what it is. That's the bottom line. And nobody, it doesn't matter who go down, they go floss. Common sense will tell you, like, if that person is flossing, if them come over, come sell drugs and they go back to Jamaica to show people, say them have stuff, you should have common sense too that, you know what I mean? That it's not, you're not here. So you don't know what it's like. Until you get here, then, you know, you can speak on it, but you can't speak on something that you didn't experience yet. So people need to stop looking at what they think people have or think because they're from here, that mean they have stuff. You get what I mean? So that's the mentality we need to have, you know what I mean? You got to be tough. You know what I mean? You can't just be soft and be like, okay, you know, they should do this or they, no, be responsible. Stop partying, come in, clean up your community, get along, because everybody love blame stuff on the government, or people elect the government. So when your community set a certain kind of way, like I see this dude on YouTube, I come talk about, oh, this politician is gonna get my vote because he came down here and drink a beer with me. So after him drink the beer with you, what did he do after that? So you're gonna vote for him because he came and drink a beer with you? You know what I mean? The mentality is stupid. So guess what? Me have to call it out just like it is. When stupid people do stupid stuff, that's how it's gonna change. You have to tell some people say them dumb first so them can understand. But if you keep sugarcoating it and be like, no, it's okay, you know, they're just poor. No, you make yourself poor because guess what? You don't try other things to, and then the thing is that there's people down there trying, but they rather go break them shop or kill them because they look a bit better than them. They live right across the street from you. They're not much more richer than you, but they're doing something with their life. But you rather take their life to take whatever little they have instead of help them and help your damn self. You know what I mean? I'm sorry I get passionate about this, but trust me, I'm going down there so much time, and this is a craziness that goes on. People just think that people hold them stuff, and all they need to be is responsible for themselves. That's it.
Okay, Andrew, can I dip into this conversation?
Dip like dip. What kind of dip you eating?
Okay, so you touch on a lot of subject that I agree with, but I disagree with you on many things. First thing you talked about opportunities. Let's be honest. You cannot compare America or any country to Jamaica. Jamaica is a third world country because I've lived there until I was 19 years old, and the opportunities that are in other places are not there. And second of all, the educational level, not disrespecting our Jamaican people. We are very smart, intelligent, immaculate people, but not everybody have that capability to understand and have a goal in mind to be like, okay, well, I'm going for a business. I'm going to go start up something. Not everybody have that capability and understanding. Instead of being like, they need to do this, how about then government needs to implement ways to help to educate them? But that's not going to happen. So it's on us that we have to do. And I agree with you that when they get the money, the first thing they do is bleaching and everything. But you got to look at it again this way. I grew up in Jamaica, and I'm only 31 years old, and I'm used to watching TV. And all you're seeing is these beautiful lights flashing. You see these beautiful people, well dressed and everything. It tends to give you a little sense of envy. You want to be like these people. Unfortunately, you're not in that economic like sector where you can be like, okay, so I can have this and have that. So it works on both ways. And I do agree that most of them, they want to kill people, and which I strongly disagree with. I don't believe there's no way you should see somebody, you can even walk on the road with a cell phone and someone hurting you. But at the same time, you have to look at the source. You have to go to the source of why this is happening. And it all starts with that little box that we watch it called TV. That little box. And then another thing too, we have a lot of people that is deported from this country and other countries that are bringing that mentality to these people. How they even know how to do certain things that they're doing down there if they're not being influenced by people by here. So it works both ways. So not everybody in Jamaica have the mentality to get up one morning and said, well, I'm going to start a business and I'm going to do that. I've worked in Jamaica before. Believe when I tell you there's limited opportunities there. The only way you can get to a certain level is based off who you know and sadly how you look. But what about those people who don't look that way? Are those people who don't know those people? They tend to think different. The education, if you sit down with the average Jamaican and have a conversation with them, you probably get disgusted. But you cannot look down on them because you have to empathize with them because ignorance is such a bliss. Because even people here, you speak with them, ignorance is a hell of a thing. And many of them down there are just ignorant. So it works both ways. I understand where you're coming from, but I would not make such a general statement because there are genuine people that actually try. And yes, these are victims of it. But if these people were to spread out and spread the word, the country will be a lot better. And as far as family members, when it comes, You have good family member, you have bad family member. Don't get me wrong. You do have people down there that has no conscience, no well-being, no discipline, no grooming. Not that they weren't raised with this, but if a person's born with a certain mentality, that's who they are. These people were never corrected. So when you have one rotten egg and you put it around a bunch of other eggs, what's going to happen? They're all going to get rotten. So I agree, but I disagree because it can be fixed. The only problem is who's willing to stand up and fix it. It's not going to be from the government. It's going to have to be from us, from regular people within Jamaica itself. Because if you go to Jamaica, like the other day, my grandmother passed away, and I looked at the value of the Jamaican dollar. It's nothing. It is nothing. And if you are supplying all these boys with guns, the first question I would ask, where are they getting these guns from? Where are they getting these ammunition from? Do you know how much a gun is? Do you know how much ammunition is? Again, it's not the people, it's the source. The source. That little TV screen and many people that have left prior countries that have done not great things influence these people to prey on themselves. Some of them don't have the opportunity to even travel out of Jamaica, so how would they know? And yes, I agree what you were saying, like if they will sell drugs and them want for floss, okay, you can't kill a man for live them life if they want to go down there. But at the same time, what's the message that you're sending to them? That's a source also you have to look at. You're going down there in a party, you're buying a $5,000, $10,000 drink, and you're splashing it. You're going in a party and you're throwing money to everybody, which again, don't get me wrong, to each his own. That's your money. You have the right to do whatever you want with it. I am not disagreeing with that, but what is the image that you are leaving with those young men down there that who can do what you do? Who don't have the capable of thinking the way how you think? So there's many factors. There's many factors, and there's so many unwanted pregnancy because unfortunately, again, there's no opportunities. There's no sense of reasoning. You can sit down with an average Jamaican, and I probably can make more sense out of talking to my child and make more sense with them because of the way they were not given that opportunity. So it worked both ways. And you're right, I agree with the whole government thing. Can depend on the government, but at the same time, what are they really doing to implement to help these people? Because when I read the Jamaican news, I see other nations coming in, building infrastructures, building businesses. So what happened when those other nations wasn't there? Why weren't the Jamaican people doing this? So it's many factors, but it doesn't matter who is to be blamed. Who is that at the end of the day? It's who is willing to stand up and be like, you know what? Let's address the source of where this is coming from. Let's address where it's coming from. And that's just my piece, and I'll leave it there.
All right, well, don't want you to leave it there. You make some good points.
Hold on a second, hold on. Anna. Hello? Hello?
I'm here, Andrew. I'm here.
Yeah,
Go ahead. I'm listening.
discussion. You say you disagree with some stuff that I said, right?
Yeah.
Mainly like what?
Okay. You were talking about if a drug dealer sell drugs and go down there and floss another party. Listen, I disagree with that one because listen, who cares when you make your money and I make our money? If I want to go and take my money and buy a $1,000 purse, it's my money, right? But at the said breath, what is the image am I looking for the people then that is less unfortunate?
Yeah, but Anna,
what is the stigma that I'm leaving with them?
For a minute, right? We're going to go back and forth.
Okay, hey, I got time.
No, listen to this, Anna. So we can't put it on that person that came from here and went to Jamaica. So we can't put it on them, that the person that's here, we can't put it on them because what I was saying to you before, the person that lives in Jamaica don't know what it's like here. You get what I'm saying to you? So in a Jamaica, that person need to be responsible, right? The source, when you said the source, the source is the people, right? The source is the people. It doesn't matter who bring the gun in, is the source using it, right? So guess what? It start with the source as the people, so them have to stop doing those things. So my thing is not to watch what's going on, but create a situation, because nobody can change that situation but the people them, which is the source. You get what I'm saying to you? So if you're gonna watch everything that's going on around you, like from other countries, and you're trying to, you know, follow what other people are doing, not changing within your realm, your community, then you're gonna keep living for other people all the time. Because guess what? You're looking at what those people are portraying to you by they coming down there and flossing and doing that. You know, that shouldn't be.
But
That's
let me
what I'm
ask you a question,
saying.
Angel. Let me
Mhm,
ask you a question. If you don't believe that
mhm,
people do leave an impact, all right, say for example, we're going to
mhm,
take it all the way back. Are we going to disagree on this? Look at
mhm,
all these celebrities that we have up here. We have the Beyonce, we have the Jay-Z, we have all the
mhm.
rappers there. And if you don't believe what I'm saying is true, all the young kids, the young black men grow up. Everybody wants to be a rapper. Look at the
Yeah,
basketball players. Look at the NFL players.
yeah, but that's
Everybody
not what
looking
I'm
at this
saying.
person.
That's
No,
not.
but
I didn't
this
say I
is what I'm
disagree. No,
trying
me
to
not saying to
say.
disagree. I understand what you're saying, but what I'm saying to you, listen to what I said. I didn't say I disagree. I said that person can't be following those people, because guess what? Those people have what they have already. So in order for you to get to where you have to get to, you can't start living a high life when you're not anywhere.
So how about they help them, give them the tools
Then that
instead
makes
of flossing?
that's
How
what I
about
said.
helping them
That's what
get
I
the
said.
tools?
First thing, that's what I when I came on, I said we gotta give these people tools instead of money. You get what I'm saying to you? Like give them the tools instead of give them money. Give them the tools so they can elevate themselves in life. Because guess what happened? If you keep following what other people do, you're never, because you're living a fake life. You get what I'm saying to you? And also, they gotta be responsible, because the next thing is it now. You can't want help, and I'm giving you help. I mean, know you give a whole heap of people help. Everybody who me know always do, right? But they're not using it to better themselves. They rather use it to live that fake life that we're talking about, to go in a party, or not. Most people we take it to put it to good use. And as you said, what I'm trying to tell you is, like, I've had so much experience with, like, it's not like back in the days. It's very easier now in Jamaica because I have experience with my brothers. It's not as hard to get an education anymore. You know what I mean? It's not as hard. There's free programs down there, lots of school that free programs that people can learn for read and write. And when people learn to read and write, they will more understand when people talk to them. You know what I mean? You can actually have a conversation with them. And if you're qualified for something, it doesn't matter if you're black, purple, or green, you're gonna get that opportunity. You know what I mean? So the thing is to get rid of this thing where, and it's mostly the younger people. Like I've been to Jamaica and see like people that's 10, 12-year old in a party, and I'm looking like, this is crazy. Where are their parents? You know what I mean? Because they're not responsible. So the responsibility have to start among the people, the source that you say, because the source is what feeding everything. So if they don't start and fix what they're doing, then it doesn't matter how much tool you will give them, right? If they're not trying to make changes in their life, it's never gonna happen. You know what I mean? So you can't give them tools until God come. If they keep doing stupidness like wasting their life away, you know what I mean, and envy people, like there's some things that entwine itself in bad mind is a disease of Jamaica. You know what I mean? Like people, like as you said before, like people, you can't even walk with a cell phone and people don't try to take it. Like it's a thing that have to come out of the communities, period. You know what I mean? It gotta eradicate stuff like that because, you know, like there is more thief than ever now in Jamaica. Instead of they try to help you do stuff, they will try to take it away from you. And I'm scared to think that even Jamaica maybe going to come in like oh Beirut stay, you know what I mean? Like everybody just killing each other for nothing at all. And at some point, and what people need to understand, the way our Jamaican government work, they want the ghetto them stay like that. They want it to be like that because if you notice, most of these richer people, they're not in the flats. They're up on the hill, Jack's Hill, Stony Hill, up at St. Andrew. They're up there looking down. You know what I mean? Because guess what? In order for people to go up there, they have to go up a hill. You know what I mean? They're not down on the flat with you. So when they create certain situations, they don't care because every year from the day I was born, what them call it, JLP and PMP, they will promise them something this year and then be like, oh, vote for me and I promise you this. And then it goes back and forth all these years and people don't understand, like, no, if you just gonna give me work when it coming up to election time, you know what I mean? And when the election over, nothing happened at some point. And they have some illiterate people that's in Jamaica that belongs to parties that they think that because they are diehard JLP or PMP, they will tell some stories from some stuff way back in ideas. And they know you have these little younger kids that they're fueling these things to, that believe these things, and they're a part of a party that they know nothing about because them grew up illiterate too. You understand? And then you have these older people now that fuel these things that, oh, over here so belongs to JLP, right across the street, JLP over here so P, and they're fighting against each other. They're killing people because of somebody that died in their family like 30 years ago. But them here say, is this person killed it? But they don't even know what happened. So these things that entwine itself in the community have to change. So it doesn't matter what abroad do or TV do, right? As we was, me and Siobhan did a talk the other day about how we can communicate through people now. Everybody have a cell phone. Everybody has social media now. So that's the best way to communicate through these people, through social media, because they're on their phone 24/7. You know what I mean? And I want to tell you something. A lot of people are not even watching TV anymore because this is where them get them news from. Because as anything happen on the internet, it's spread right across the world. You know what I mean? So we got to figure out a way. There's a solution. And I'm not blaming anybody. I'm just saying that the solution to the problem is the community have to clean up themselves. You know what I mean? People have to get wise to things. And, you know, I know there's no job, but there's stuff there that can be created. I've known people that create business in Jamaica year before last, and it's flourishing now. Simple stuff, simple things. And then now, the thing with the communities, a lot of people, pride, they make pride get to them for do certain things. Like they wouldn't go out on the street, go sell some stuff because guess what? That's beneath me. Like there's certain pride in people that they need to get rid of. You know what I mean? But a whole bunch of good people there at Jamaica. And the thing is, government is not going to help you. It's been a whole history of that for years, showing that they never did anything. And then, but the people elect the government. So guess what happened? People have to start governing their own community. People have to start doing their own things, you know what I mean, to fix their community. Because police, government, police is part of government. JDF in Jamaica, I don't even see what's the sense of JDF down there because you don't need Jamaica can't go in a war with an army because which war them are gonna fight. So I always say and think, get rid of JDF and create a whole big police force, and people in JDF get paid more than what regular police get. And the police are so corrupt. Get rid of all of that crap about JDF and whatever and build a whole gigantic police force that does investigation and patrol and gain trust with the community and help to build up the community. Put stuff in the community like that. But when they have where they have to have soldiers to come out because police can't handle it, and then people don't respect the police and they have the police are criminals, then the whole system got to fix. But it got to start with the communities. You know what I mean? It have to start in the community then, because guess what happened? That's where the problem is. And then if the community them fix themselves, then other stuff will flourish around. Then nobody now have to worry about, you know, because there's a lot of companies that pull out. Tommy Hilfiger went to Jamaica and pull out of Jamaica years ago. There's a whole bunch of companies go down there and pull out because guess what? It's bad. You know what I mean? So it's not like them not have them fair share of things. A lot of things went to Jamaica and them just pull right back out because the community, the culture have to change, and it didn't have anything to do with the government. When Tommy Hilfiger pull out, they're just losing product. They're stealing stuff from down there like crazy.
So let me ask you something, Andrew, right? You said they don't give them money, give them tools.
Mhm.
What type of tools are you talking about? Because the only tools that you need to give people in general is money, resources. And let me elaborate on that.
Well,
This is where we're gonna disagree. We're gonna go back and forth. I understand everything what you're saying, and you're absolutely right. You are absolutely right. But here's where I disagree. These people need resources. You're gonna say big companies like Tommy Hilfiger are gonna invest. How are you gonna invest in a country where these people can't even afford to buy food? How about address that crisis?
no,
These
this
people
this
do need,
it's a
hey,
factory they put down there. No, they put a factory
listen,
down.
it
It's
doesn't
no,
matter.
no,
It
they didn't.
doesn't
No, it doesn't matter.
matter.
That's the resource. No, but it's a factory they put down there to give people work. It's not a store, you know. It's a factory they put down there. So let me clear that up. It's not
Okay,
a
fine, fine. They
they
put a
didn't put
factory
a
down
yeah,
there.
they didn't
But
put a
let's be
fact.
honest.
Mm,
But let's be
mm.
honest. How much are they really paying these people?
It doesn't matter, but that's a start. That's what I'm saying to you. Because guess what happened? What you
We're
do,
gonna
if
disagree.
that's no, listen to this. Just say how much are they paying? They're paying them cheap, right? So listen to this now. You work and you work your way in there, right? You're doing a great job instead of stealing the products, right? Then now, if you're doing a good job as a community in that country, people that get hired in that factory, right? What you do, you ask for a raise because you come together. If you want to unionize it, you unionize it, and you come together and ask for a raise. You get what I'm saying to you? So even if them start out paying very low, right? You got to come together as a community, as a people, as a source, right? And then you go to management and say, well, guess what happened? We found out that we need to get more money for what we're doing. You get what I'm saying to you? So it all starts somewhere, but people have to use them common sense. And instead of breaking down stuff before it even start, figure a way through it. You know what I mean? So it doesn't matter how much them did I get paid. Like even KFC down there, they're not paying people nothing. People need to come together because the management, if nobody say anything or if they don't boycott or figure it out, the government not gonna figure it out for them. People need to do that because they need the people to work. People need to stop buying their products. People need to stop working there, and I guarantee a day of or a week of losing business, they're gonna come to the table and give them a raise of pay. Because if nobody not work there and they're not buying their products, they have to make a move. So it all start with people. The government is not doing it. They're not going to do it because there's proof of it for years, you know. But anything at all start with the people. There's a lot of businesses. Me have people where they are Jamaica where call me and ask me if I know anybody at Jamaica that qualify to do certain work. They need to elevate themselves so they can get to a certain point where they qualified for jobs down there. You know what I mean? Not just to go work in a Mr. Chin shop or whatever. Or think because you're light skinned and don't have an education, that means you're going to get the job because you like. You know, have the education still. You know what I mean? I'm not saying everybody is like that, but there's a lot of opportunity down there. Like even a shipping company that one of my cousins worked for, right? They needed 150 people. And I spread it all over the place down there. And a lot of them wasn't qualified. You know what I mean? But they're doing other, like even me contact maybe like 20 people out there, like what was supposed to fit them stop gas school because why they want to go do other stuff and they always partying and stuff like that. I'm not putting everybody in the same basket, but there's a lot of stuff that they can do differently within themselves. You know what I mean? And the community, that's what got to stand up. You can't wait for government and stuff. And everybody will come America. You know? So guess what? They got to figure it out. All right, look at this. Prime example. I'm going to show you something now. If you have these Chinese people coming, no disrespect, if you have these Chinese people coming from China to open up all of them wholesale store all the time, or coming at your country, and they're making millions of dollars and stepping back out every so often and them close it down 4 years after and then somebody else come open, there's something wrong with that. You would rather go support those people to buy stuff from them, but your regular store in the community, you not support them because the Chinaman them are sell your stuff. But you're not looking, that's what I said. the stuff is there for people to open their eyes to see, but they don't want to. You know what I mean? So they're not supporting each other. They rather support some foreign entity, you know, and not trying to do stuff for themselves. You know, everybody
It's
just
hard
want to
for
just
Andrew. It's hard for them to do stuff for
no,
themselves
it's
when they
not.
don't
No, it's
have
not hard.
anything.
In this day and age,
Because
it's
you
not hard
talk
anymore.
about tools, and I hear
Mhm.
everything what you're saying, and everything what
Mhm.
you're saying. Listen, I'm not disagreeing, but at the end of the day, it all goes back to resources. You're saying it start with a community. Okay, yes, it start with a community. But if you're talking about a community that is in poverty, how are they going to change the situation? And back to what you were saying about the jobs, most of the people are not qualified. I've lived in Jamaica, and I've been there, and I know what I'm talking about. Most people genuinely go there to get a job, and they don't get it. It's not because they can't do it. It's because of maybe the way them look. You'd be surprised to
No, I know
see.
that. I know that.
Listen,
Me know.
listen.
I've
You'd
been
be
there. I go
surprised
there.
the
I go there
discrimination
every
that
couple of
these
months.
people go through. These people go
I
through
know what it
discrimination
is. But what I'm
just
saying
like
to you.
we. And
No,
at
but
the
what
end
I'm
of the
saying.
day, I understand what you were saying about the whole tools and stuff. Yes, but it all goes back. That tool that you're talking about
No,
is money.
no.
It's
So
resources. These people
no.
need to the resource to take
Listen to
care of
this.
them family.
Let me tell you something. I'm
All
gonna be
right, I'm gonna ask you one question and then I'm gonna
Mhm.
let you speak.
Yeah.
If you think people in Jamaica, if they had the resources, if they had the money to take care of their families, even some of them borrowed upon the corner, do you really think crime would be this high? Just answer that one question.
Some of the boy them on the corner.
If the resources were in Jamaica,
Mhm.
where they actually can actually take care of their family, where
Mhm.
them can actually have their own home,
Mhm.
provide for them family, take care of them kids, do you really think crime would be that high?
Yes, it would, because guess what? Everybody is bait. Let me tell you
I
why.
disagree,
No, you can't
Andrew.
disagree. Come I tell you something. I give you some prime example. A lot. What in Jamaica that's a natural resource that's not being used a lot right now? Hmm?
That was a question to me.
Yeah, what's in Jamaica right now? That's a natural resource that's not using right
You're
now.
not
Well,
talking about bauxite.
no, I'm talking about farming. Anybody can plant anything, and even back in the
But how
days when
many
people
people
have
have
farm,
the land? You're talking about people in the country. I'm not
yeah,
talking
but
about people
you
in the country.
can't
What
keep
about the people
making
living in the inner
excuses saying every
city?
people that don't have
It's
the
not
land.
an excuse, it's
Yeah,
a
it is
fact.
because no, but listen to this. Not even if listen to this. What I'm saying to you, if I say something, you can't say, well, how many people have the land? There's people have. I know. Me have a cousin down there. You know what she did? She lease, not even lease. She asked a person for use them land, right? And you know what she did the other day when she lose her job, her little job, where she make her money. She go buy 13 pig, right? And build a little full coop on it and start um raising pigs and chicken, right? So my thing is it, not because you see people living a certain way upon TV, is what in front of you have to go with, right? Some people, certain things is beneath them, but guess what? The thing is it, with us, we keep making excuses for people and we need to stop. You understand what I say? If me there Jamaica, me say only thing we can do to make it, I go farm. You understand what I'm saying? I'm gonna figure out a way. There's ways down there. I've seen it for myself. I grew up down there. I'm gonna go down there a lot. I'm born and grew down there. I'm gonna go down there at least 3-4 times for the year. You know what I mean? I've dealt with people. I've tried to help people, and instead of most of the time, 90% of the time when I try to help people down there, they might try to rip you off. Instead of help you so you can help them. I don't know one, I don't know two. I may be getting too passionate about it. I'm not yelling at you, but what may I say? When I talk about stuff
No,
like this,
Andrew, no, you're right. Go ahead.
yeah,
I'm
when
listening
I
because
talk about stuff
I'm
like this,
passionate
it
too.
happens to me. You
Yeah,
understand
it
what I
happened
say?
to me too.
Yeah,
Listen,
so what may I say?
on the
We
other
need to
side of
stop.
coin, I
Yeah,
don't you think that I have not been a victim of fraud? You
I
don't
know.
think I
That's
have
what I'm
family
saying.
member
I know it
will lie
happens
to
too.
me, but at the
Mm.
same time, I empathize with them because okay, I know you're gonna say like
No,
you're
you
making
can't
excuses.
because they're not
It's
going to
not
change.
making
It
excuses
is
because
an
at the end of the
excuse.
day, I understand the situation
No, don't
that's
understand it
happening.
because guess what happened? If you keep understanding those things, right? You are telling them say it's okay for them to do it. So what you do?
You try to help them out, right? You can't sympathize with that because guess what? If you are trying to help them out and then now they're bringing you down along with them, that means that them don't want to come out of that. They don't want to because they know their mentality is that you have it to do whatever they want you to do, but they're not trying to help them uplift themselves out of the situation. You get what I'm saying to you? They're not trying because if you're going to figure out a way to rip me off instead of helping yourself so you can help others around you and maybe help me back if I need some help, but you're thinking of a way to rip me off, that's crazy. You get what I'm saying? So the next thing is what we need to do. We need to make these people be responsible in a way where, as I say, you can't give them money because guess what? If you're illiterate and you don't have no education, you're not going to know how to manage money. You get what I'm saying to you? Right? And managing money is investing in yourself and your community. And everybody will come to America. So the next thing what we need is this stigma from before you think say you have to help people, I help them and I help, but they're not helping themselves. Because I've known people that I help start stuff, like send them barrel of stuff. And right now today, they're making money because guess what? One of my cousins, I sent her years ago. She said she want to use clothes. Use clothes for sell, right? I mean, I said, damn, yo, use clothes? Right? She said, like at the thrift shop now, I'm sending go get her. Yeah, she stack out her stuff and that girl, they build her house already. And you know what I mean? There's ways of making money, but everybody got to get out of this thing now where, you know, we got to hold them responsible. Like if them call and ask you money, what are you going to do? Are you going to school? Are you doing this? There's opportunity there and them have to create opportunity. Yeah, there's racism there, but if people create opportunity for themselves, there's going to be more than enough work. Like prime example, you have these big companies down there, Target, what's down there? A Walmart have something down there. All of those companies, right? It would cost them more money to move KFC. It would cost them more money to pack up their business and move because those companies, you know, make more money in Jamaica than what they make here because the rules are so relaxed. They're not paying any taxes, right? So what Jamaican people have to do is these foreign company, American company, Chinese company that's coming down there, hold them feet to the fire. You know what I mean? Because guess what? If they create better paying jobs, and they can pay people better, but everybody just, oh, at least me have a job. No, boycott them. Stop buy them damn food. You know what I mean? Don't go to work. Demand that, you know, you can't have somebody at work 15 hours for the day because you're just paying them this. You can hire 2 more people and pay them more money and still make money. Because how can you pay somebody a wage that if they buy what this thing in them, one zinger a person purchase and they pay that person for the whole damn day? That's crazy. So people have to be responsible and get responsible and gain sense and stop thinking about, oh, I need to go do this because this is how I'm going to go get a job, instead of educate themselves. You know what I mean? Because most people think that being beautiful and look a certain kind of way that will get them a job, but you didn't get an education. And instead of you spend the time to go get an education, you did a party or you do some foolishness. I'm not saying it's everybody, but they have to be responsible. If they're not responsible, nothing is going to change. Because when you're responsible, you're not looking at if somebody come from Jamaica and a flash on you. You're going to look and say, boy, me more responsible than that. Me no business where I do. You get what I'm saying to you? So within people, they have to get some kind of responsibility within themselves, or else it's never going to change. You got to change all of that stigma and all of that old stuff that was brought from back in the days when people used to send barrel guard Jamaican, send little money and do this, and all of that stuff got to change. They got to be responsible because guess what? Jamaica have resources down there, and there's a lot of companies that you can look up the history that went down there and pull out of the country because guess what? It wasn't for them. You know what I mean? Because instead of their product getting produced is getting missing. Then now you have this company that came down there, build the highway, and people did it and just let them do whatever. So that's why them have to be responsible. And so, well, guess what? We're not going to stand for it, because no matter how much Chinese or whatever come down there, if they make a stand and say, oh, no road, no bill, until it doesn't matter what the government say. No matter how much soldier and police come, if people decide to them go to a road, go make a stand for themselves, stuff will happen. Demand better wages. You know, these companies are raping Jamaica. They go down there and they're making billions of dollars. There's Chinese company, all of these, what them call them, call centers, all of these lottery companies that down there, they're making mad money, because if they're paying somebody $2 an hour, I checked it up the other day, you pay somebody $2 an hour, and dollar, what would I check it at? $1.75, $1.25, I checked it the other day per hour, right? That's not even taxi fare to go to work, right? But what people have to realize, forget about the damn government, and they need to make a stand for themselves. You know what I mean? Because guess what? Without the people, there's no government. And until people realize and do that and be responsible for themselves, then nothing is going to happen. So we can't put it on other people, say, well, this person, that, and this, that, whatever. The resources are there. There's so much company in Jamaica right now, like all of them, what's that company name? You have Grace. There's so much companies down there. And they're not
Let me
paying
ask you
anybody
something. Can I
anything.
just interject, Andrew? Let me interject for a moment. Okay. So I get where you're coming from when you say these people need to demand more money. And basically, I agree they need to stand up for them rights. But let's be honest. In America, we have laws that protect the citizens and the workers. That basically, if they're being treated unfairly, if they're being paid unfairly, there is someone that they can turn to for help. These people that you're talking about are Jamaican people, do not have that in Jamaica. There's no workers' law, because at the end of the day, to them, they're getting that $2. To you, it's $2, but to them, it's a lot. So of course, they're gonna be happy with it. But let's be honest, and it all goes back to what I just said. The source is money. Yes, the people, but at the same time, they need resources. Okay, go ahead.
So watch this now. How the change make in America? How the change come about? People make the change, right? People march and do what they have to do.
Yeah, but you have to understand, this system was set up a lot different from Jamaica.
No, it wasn't.
Jamaican people did. No, it is. Because Jamaica is under the British.
No, yeah, but it's under the British, but it's also...
No, but I'm listening what I'm trying to say to you. You cannot compare America.
I'm not comparing America. All right, let me ask you a question.
But if you really look at it though, and listen, let me just say this clearly. And I think I need to lay the foundation from here. I agree with you. I'm not saying the crime and everything that's going on and the scamming and all that crap that they're doing to innocent people is correct. I don't agree with it. I do not agree with it. I think it is absolutely disgusting that them killing babies, they're killing women, them killing off the Jamaican men, good men, working men, them killing grandma, them killing grandpa, them basically are killing the animals and too. So Andrew, I agree with you. But at the same time, I know what I'm trying to say is that there is means and ways to fix that, but it's not being dealt with because, okay, I understand what you're saying about, okay, you said about your cousin, you helped her out. You have to consider, what about those other people that don't have family members who live in a different country that they can call to finance them? You have to look at these areas in life. Like there's a lot of little narrow things. Like it's like driving down a road and you have your blind spots. We have to look at those blind spots. And that's what needs to be addressed to get this shit in order.
Well, that's what I'm saying to you.
And what I'm trying to say to you is that what you're saying about protesting and everything, okay, fine, I understand. Women had come a long way because women had to fight for them rights to work, just like in jobs and everything. But this system was set up different from Jamaican system. And the reason why, listen, the reason why other countries are allowed to come and manipulate the people is because it was approved and stamped by the Jamaican government, who was supposed to protect and help their people. What I don't understand is why the roads are being built by other people and not their own government. That is the part I don't understand. And again, I agree with everything what you're saying, because listen, I'm not oblivious to the unscrupulous people out there. I'm not oblivious, because in every garden, you have weed. You have weeds. It's just like you plant your little garden outside, weeds are in there. What you do, you try to take your time and pluck them up so them to mess with the other ones. So of course, you have weeds in the garden, but what about all them flowers that are completely surrounded by the weeds? You have to be the defense for that. And that's what I'm trying to address. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, yes, I understand what you're saying. And I'm gonna bring something to your attention. You should forget about TV. You do not believe that TV or this whole system can control people. Take an example in America. When COVID hit United States of America, the next day people were outside buying toilet paper like it was the end of the world. People were buying hand sanitizer. Basically, all the things that they should have been doing before, they were hawking it up because the media tell them to do it. Because all of a sudden, we're going to run out of toilet paper, which is pure garbage to me. Then back to what I was just saying about even the rappers and stuff. You say you understand people are strong-minded and everything, but not everybody is strong-minded. So we have to look at from their stance. Again, I'm gonna say it one more time. I do not agree with what's going on in Jamaica. I am so hurt to see my beautiful island, my beautiful country. And when I hear, because I work with doctors and nurses, and what they have to say, it's not good, it's not a good image. And that's not our people. But this is what is being put out there against us. So how can we stand instead of being like, okay, yes, them have to take responsibility for them actions. How about instead of doing that, let us help them? I'm not talking about them few little unscrupulous people, because you'll find them everywhere. You'll find them in every country and everywhere they go. Everywhere you go, there is always that one. And believe me, there's always that one in your family, with your kids, when you're married, everywhere. It doesn't matter. You'll find that one. But what about those voices that cannot speak up? Is not everybody in Jamaica have family that is abroad that can help them? Is not everybody have the money, the resources for say, okay, can I buy 2 pig and 2 goats? We have to look at that too. We have to look at all different angles. What you're saying, Andrew, I agree with you 100%. They need to manage themselves better, but it all starts with us, individual as a people, not the community. Because I live in a community and I think different from most of the people that were there. I don't even talk to half of the community. And it's not that I don't love my community. It's because we have different views in life and we have different mentality. We have to get to those people who actually have that like-mindedness like ourselves to bring that out there. And again, I'm gonna bring it back again. Like I was saying before, if you do not believe that little box that we're staring called TV or even social media, Instagram, I took my Instagram down because I'm over it. They are portraying something that is not real. And again, what you said, not everybody weak-minded, not everybody have that thinking capability to be like, that it gives that sense of envy and jealousy. And be like, so why am I suffering? What am I doing wrong? Not knowing that there is more behind the story than what they're portraying out there. So there is means and ways to address the situation. Unfortunately, we live in our day and age where yes, there is resources, but ask yourself the question, who is benefiting and who is getting these resources? The last time I've been to Jamaica, all the beaches, you talk about farming, let's talk about fishing. Let's talk about the fishermen, the Cuba, the Chinese, and other people buy all the intercoastal land so all the tycoons can park them big yachts there. So the little fishermen them will normally come fish, Andrew, they can't go there no more. The people that are the native people of Jamaica itself, they have to pay to even see them own ocean that runs by the sea, and Jamaica is completely surrounded by ocean. How do you figure that? You have people coming from other countries, racism against them, the native people. So it's a lot of things that goes into this. I'm not talking about, again, I don't agree. I do not condone none of that crap that's going on in Jamaica because it's just despicable. But I'm just saying, if we're going to address, we have to start from the beginning. And you talk about the police force. Let's be honest. The rabbit hole run deep. There is nobody in this world, nobody can ever come up and change a system that was already designed from before you were born, your grandparents were born, even your ancestors were born. You can't change that. Corruption will be till the day Christ returns. It will never change. But we as a people, instead of be like, oh, all them want, how about we start communicating with them, educate them, talk to them, teach them. You'd be surprised to see how many people are willing to learn. How many people have the mind frame to make a business? Not everybody have that mind frame. Some people, if my daddy was a carpenter, I grew up and see my father as a carpenter, I go and grow up and become a carpenter. Not in my mind, me ever think, oh, well, maybe we can have more in furniture store. It's the source. That's what I was trying to say to you. So until we eradicate a lot of things, this is what it's going to be. Even if, say, I'm wrong, say I'm wrong, you give them all the tools and everything they need and then still mess it up. At the end of the day, the reason why it is because the source was never addressed. Was never addressed. When you plant a tree, you have to start from the root. You don't clip a tree from the top because it will sprout out. You start from the root. From the root. The communities and stuff, yes, I understand where you're coming from. So I'm breaking up people's shops and everything because we know bad mind is an epidemic in Jamaica more than coronavirus. We know that. That will never change. That it was there when I was a kid, it was there before I was born, and it will be there after we die. That will never change. But at the end of the day, if these people have the resources, the necessary resources to help themselves, life would be a lot different. And I stand firmly on that. Because most of these people, if they had the means, they wouldn't do it. Don't get me wrong.
I have a
Go
question.
ahead. Go ahead.
You're saying that you need change, but in the meantime, you're saying it will never change, right?
It will
You're
never
saying-
change.
Yeah,
Unfortunately.
but you can't say that. No, but you can't say that because
You
that's
can
what.
only change, put it this way. I'm gonna put it this way.
No, but you gotta change
You-
those things that you're saying. Those are the problem. So if you're saying
No,
those
it's
things,
not the problem because
it
it's
is
the
the problem.
truth.
No, but
it
it's
is
the,
the truth.
no, but it is
truth.
the problem.
We
No, but
can
what I'm
change.
saying.
Look, we are only going to be able to impact only so much people.
No, then it
And let's be
can't work.
honest.
No, because those things that you're saying that will never change, that's what the problem is. Because listen to this. The community, where you're saying the source is the community. The people have to make change, right? Until people come together, me, you, everybody else, so people at Jamaica come together and make a change, then that's when it's gonna be a change. Because you can't say that you're gonna give people the source, but the source is not, the people is the problem. Because if you don't address the problem, then the people is the source. So the people is the source of the problem. So my thing is it, as you're saying, you can't compare Jamaica to America. I am not drawing that comparison. What I'm saying to you, in America, people march for them rights. People march for changes, right? In Jamaica, if people decide to march for change, it will happen. Because guess what? Change have to happen. And you can't say before ancestors and stuff like that. Things have to change because things and times change, so stuff have to change for things to move forward in life, because you can't take the old ways and try to adapt into today's world. So until people realize that they need to stand up for themselves to make changes, then it's never going to happen, because that them are the source. Because you can't sit there and say, well, you need things to happen when you're not trying to make no change. You know what I mean? You can't expect people to do stuff for you, or, because they're going to point out that, okay, oh, look at this. They want to change, but they might do the same thing. You can't say you want change, but if your action is not showing that you want change, there's nothing going to happen. So my thing is it, as I said, people march and people do things and boycott. That's how you get change. Because guess what? If people have money, right, they're not going to give it to you. All of these people with them yachts and the rich, this and that, they're not going to give you their money. So guess what happened? You have to make them spend it. You have to make them give it to you because they have to give it to you. Because them now go, just give it because, a person asks you a raise. That person is going to get fired. So guess what? You have to implement something. So guess what happened? We have boycott this. And every business, like what Robin Wood did the other day, everybody have to come together and say, oh, listen to me. It's either this business do XYZ or nobody now got, because people are suffering, especially with Corona now. This should open a lot of people's eyes to a lot of things. So guess what happened? These businesses are still running and people are out of work, including the hotel industries, shipping, cruise industry, the food industry, what else? Jamaica Broilers, all of them. There's a lot of company in Jamaica, a lot. But what they tend to do is hire people, and they will want one person work for 14 hours instead of and pay them a little bit or not more, than hire more people. And they're still making a profit because they're making billions. They're making more money in Jamaica than what they would make here. So the thing is, it all starts with the people them to make that change. They got to stand up and say, yo, listen to me. We're boycott today. And nobody shouldn't be no informer because them did that. They should make a change, look at themselves and make a change within themselves. Because guess what? The source of them. Because nobody's coming in, because what the country is like now, nobody's coming in to help like that. So it doesn't matter if me, you, the bigger heads are not going to pick it up. Like anybody who need to go make a change in a Jamaica after a billions and say, all right, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to just pour some money in that problem and fix the problem. Nobody's not going to do that, because the way the country set up, it's not going to happen. So it all starts. And when I say that I help people out, most people, they're trying to live above their means sometimes. And whosoever don't have it, you know what I mean? Yeah, there's going to be some, but there's a lot of people down there. I know a lot of people can testify to this. There's people that they try to help, and instead of them help themselves, they're looking for a handout all the time. And I've heard that so many times. So even if 1,000 out of 10,000 people, that's helping each other, and they should never look to bring each other down. You know what I mean? It's a bad thing, and those things got to be addressed. The source, what I say, may I use your word? The source have to be addressed. The source is the people, and the source have to do it, because most of these things that's happening, Jamaica, people have to come together and stop if them can't stop them things. If you really think about it, if a plane land at the airport, and the people them out there stand up and a picket, you think nobody can come off a plane and come in Jamaica, they can't come. You know what I mean? If a ship come to Jamaica and they decide that they're gonna picket and march, nothing can come off of that. So it all start with the source. That's how change is gonna happen. You know what I mean? Partying, dancing, and all of them stuff there, that not gonna change it. So people have to start use themselves. And the next thing I said to you, everything is about social media now. Even being anything is on the phone. Everything basically is on the phone. It's not about TV. And a few people can really afford to watch TV, but they can afford their phones. That's where everybody is getting their information. So
is the message out there. And it is, they have to take a good look at themselves, you know what I mean? And really, if they want to make a change, this is where it's going to have to happen. And I think coming out of this pandemic, people need to look at their life and see how much better they want their life and decide, say, guess what happened? When now go back at work until XYZ happen. We're not going to do this until this happen. Shut the country down and fix it, because guess what? The money is there. There's so much companies in Jamaica, so much. You know what I mean? The money is there. So all them have to do is do their part, and it's a coming together. Stop thinking about you're going, envy somebody because of what they don't have, just because I'm a little bit better than you. But that's where you got to start at. That's the solution. That's my solution to the problem. And I think that's what the solution is. People have to come together and make a change. If they don't, then it will never happen. You know what I mean? You're saying it's not going to happen, period. They say it's not going to happen. But may I say, this is the way it will never happen. If people not come and stand up for themselves, because the people is the government. The government is not the government, whatever, what is his name, Andrew Holness, is not the government. The government is the people. He implements stuff, but if people stand up and them not want it, it don't have to happen. Because there's more people in Jamaica than soldier and police. So no matter how much them try for, like if they try to implement certain things and people go out there and start block road and march and decide so well and come together as a community, then everything will go down. Once changes are made, people are making their wages, crime will go down, schools will be better, jobs will open up, then you force the government to implement rules and laws. And you're saying that because certain things that happened from way back when it now got changed, it can change. Because this country, and I can compare Jamaica to this because our people there, so too, and people march for them rights, for human rights, voting rights, black rights. So it's not the government control the people, it's the people control the government, and Jamaican people need to stand up. And that's it. And when I say Jamaican people, I mean myself. So, you know what I mean? And that's what it is. There's no throwing no money, because nobody now got throwing the money at the system, because guess what they're doing? They're taking money from that system. They benefit from it. So why they're going to throw money in there when they benefit from it? They're not going to change it. They're going to keep it the way, because guess what? It's a cash cow for them to use that poor country to make their billions. So putting money into that system is not going to change it for them. They might keep it exactly how it is, pay you the wages that they're paying, and they know they reap the benefits at the end of the day, and they don't give a damn, because guess what? The people them now stand up for themselves. So guess what? We're going to treat, it's basically modern day slavery. It's modern day slavery, because when they're just sitting there and then realize nobody now say nothing, that's what's going to happen. Because the government is not going to change it, because their benefit from, actually, I'm not going to say the politicians, because the government is the people. The politicians are not going to change it, because they're benefiting from it, and they're living okay. But they want the communities to be like that, because they're benefiting from it. So how much ever people them can hire and just pay them nothing, and then everything still go smooth, because them have their money already and they keep making money. So they don't give a damn about nobody else. But society, people, which is the government, they have to stand up and say, well, guess what happened? We're not going to take it anymore. And they start in every entity, go march, like how everybody will, you come and say white people march for black people rights here, Black Lives Matters. That's what Jamaican people need to do, is make a stand and say, guess what happened? We're not dealing with KFC anymore. We're not, take bus, drive, go over Broilers, block the road, stand up there for days. We send money for buy them food. You know what I mean? When that's how you implement things, you know what I mean? Block roads, boycott, don't buy nothing from them. You know what I mean? Every company need to feel the wrath of Jamaican people. Every single company, because they can do better. So that's where I leave it at, because that's the only way it's gonna go. There's nobody going. Me and you have the money to put billions in our country for, like, basically buy it to take it over to run it.
You know what I mean? Jamaica who owns so much money to other countries, it's not gonna happen. But the money is there because everybody come in and they don't pay no taxes. And what them do, them rape it, take all of the natural resources and do what them have to do and just run out. You know, that gotta stop. But it's the people them in the country because everybody's not gonna come here. And not because we're here in America, everybody I look for come to America or go somewhere else. It's not gonna happen. It's always and people are born every day. So people are born into the system. So the system is always gonna be like that. But the only people that can change the system is Jamaican people themselves because Jamaican people are the government. We only have politician. Politician is not the government, but Jamaican people is the government. So that's where the change have to start. And that's my solution to the problem. You know what I mean? So that's what it is.
Thank you so much, Andrew, for your point.
Mm-hmm.
And I agree, and
Mm-hmm.
I also will disagree.
Well,
All right. I'm gonna
But it's I understand.
I'm gonna
Believe you
jump
me, I understand.
I'm gonna jump in now.
go ahead.
Okay.
Oh Lord, I gotta laugh. Hold on. Yep, there I am. Everybody gone. Everybody, nobody showing no face. I'm gonna show mine now. Yeah, I'm gonna show mine. Well, after hearing you guys go back and forth, I listen and I have to say this. Andrew, I grew up with you in Jamaica, and I haven't seen you in years, and I'm glad we back and, talking, because we're like family. And I just met you, we cool already, and I just met you, and I like the fact that,
Anna, me not say Anna in a years.
sure,
Granny, are you want to see my face? Go on.
yeah,
Hi,
Yes, Anna.
Andrew.
Hey.
there you go, there you go.
Mm.
Look, show your face on Ghana.
Yeah, man. You show my
Anna, me
face
then I
on
come at you,
them.
me get really passionate about this, but you know what I mean? I
I
think,
understand. I
yeah.
understand.
Hey,
I
Me just
understand.
remember.
listen, I'm gonna cut it for a minute. Like it's my turn now. So one of the things that I wanted to bring up based off of everything that you guys brought up is when we're trying to come together, honestly, you got to make sure that everybody is involved. We can't get over, I mean, I can get over passionate as well. But one thing I learned how to do is make sure that anybody that's in the group is able to address something. I know we get passionate and we can't let it over. We can't force people to do things just by using our passion about how we feel, because sometimes I can talk and sometimes I have to say, you know what? I have to hear what the other person have to say because we're not going to fix anything, by one person talking about the same problems that we've been hearing for years. We have to have solution, and the solution is not to just preach, because in church, a preacher can preach, but at the end of the day, he's been preaching. We have to make changes, and for years, if you're going to preach for years, it's about the same percentage of people that's doing the same thing, no matter how much you preach. So at some point, it got to stop, become preaching, and you have to find solutions. Our program is about financial literacy, and we have to think, what can finance do to help some of these problems? And as I'm listening to both of you talk, the finance is the problem. Education, you could say that as well, but finance is creating what we addressing here tonight. Because financially, if I'm okay, some of those problems will go away. And we live in an imperfect world. All of them won't go away, but some of them will. You talk about parties. If I was making 4,000 US a month in Jamaica, instead of going to someone's party, I might be putting on the party. So Anna, you mentioned, paying somebody $2 an hour. That's not gonna help the problem. Paying me $2. If I'm in Jamaica and you're paying me $2, I'm not gonna want to work for you. Now you
I
say,
didn't actually. Andrew was the one who said that, but I did it.
no, yeah, he said the $2, but I think you were saying that they're not being paid well. So I'm saying, okay, if I'm in Jamaica, I, as a matter of fact, I'm in the US. And one of the reasons why I started my own business was because United States opportunity is better here. And I still did not want that job. So if I don't want the job or to work for someone in the United States, how does it feel in Jamaica to work for that kind of money? I have a better opportunity here and I still did not want that job. If you're paying me $20 an hour and my bills is way higher than that, I don't want that. I have to find something better. Now, the only way I settle for that is if I can't find what is going to pay me better. But at the end of the day, working for $2 and having a company or other countries come in your country and kind of put up a business and pay you a small amount, that's not going to motivate me. It's not going to motivate our people. So at the end of the day, we do need better opportunities in Jamaica. I think that'll solve a lot of problems. With better opportunities come making more money. And when you make more money, your finances are better. You can do more things. And I think that's one of the problems. So now, let's say, for instance, some people there can't find jobs. It's okay to help them, especially if you're in a better situation. But if you helping someone and you realize that they don't appreciate the help, then you do have to leave them be, which Andrew, you had touched on that, where you need to stop. If you're doing something for someone and you don't see them, you see them partying or buying hair or doing all these things, then yeah, you need to stop, because obviously if you help somebody for a while and you see that it's not getting you anywhere, you can stop, but I'm a firm believer in, you have to help people. People have to come together, because that's actually why I have this YouTube channel, is I'm doing well with stocks and I'm trying to share the information with other people. Now, everybody's not going to listen, but I'm still sharing the information. It's there for people to actually say, you know what, Savan is teaching us something, So now, instead of giving somebody money, maybe I'm giving the opportunity for them to make the money and invest some of the money that they're making, because the opportunity is here right now based off of what's happening, in the world today. So I think the solution is everyone needs to take their own responsibilities. If you don't have a job, you can still take some responsibility. Someone is helping you. Maybe there's something that you could do for that person who's helping you. Make them feel appreciated, because while they're helping you, being appreciated would make them want to help even more. Now, everyone is not like this, but we're working with percentage here. 8 out of 10 people, if they're helping you and you are appreciative to them, 8 out of 10 people is going to appreciate you you appreciating them, and they're going to continue, So I think our culture, I think there's a lot of good people there. I love going back. I don't really see it the way a lot of people see it. I see the problems, but I hope that the problems get fixed by percentage. Everyone can't fix, It's like Anna said, you have the weeds around in the garden. You can't, even when you weed them up, they're gonna come back. So you can't fix everyone, but the percentage can rise. I equal it to when we went to school, or when we're going to school and you have 30 people in the classroom. I would say maybe 10 people is paying attention to the teacher, maybe. Going forward, I think people need to realize, you know what, education is important. So if we have majority of the class paying attention, then people are getting educated. And I think the more that we preach education, the more people understand when you're paying attention, you're going to learn things that's going to help you to make better decisions. And I think that's what needs to happen. Because let's take my circle, for instance. I try my best to put people around me who appreciates me. Now, along the way, of course, I have people who don't, but it's up to me, like you said, Andrew, to stop helping the people that don't appreciate me. But I don't want to give up on the people that do. And especially with what I'm doing now, where the stocks have been great to me, I definitely want to put the people around me who I feel is going to build me up and not pull me down. Because if I'm going up, why do I want anyone pulling me down based off of the fact that they don't want to carry their burdens, but they want to bring me down by not having an action plan of how to help the person who is actually helping them, you know. And we just need we can help it ourselves too, to be honest, you know, because sometimes maybe we can actually say, you know what, if I'm going to help you, here's what you need to do. And if you do that, if you lay it out like that and you don't receive what you asked for, then you have to pull your resource, pull your help. You know, just like those companies that I mentioned before. If LaShushan is sponsoring you in 2020 and you want them to keep sponsoring you, you have to do things for them to keep sponsoring you. So if we keep sponsoring people and they're not giving anything back, we have to pull that sponsorship. And we have to find people to give that sponsorship to, who's going to help us, you know, because any business that you start, you need people in order to make a profit. So if you're not profiting from providing service to someone, then you don't need to provide that service to that person, you know, and this is what we need to look for. So the more we ourselves take responsibility for making sure someone that we're helping is given back to us, then they're going to continue to, you know, use people that's helping them. And maybe that can also help solve the problem, you know. And as I said, we come on here to talk about the problems, but we also want to have the solution to the problems. And we are a financial literacy program. And everyone that's on here, the goal is to make a lot of money, you know. So money can't solve problems, but it can certainly help with bills. And in order for us to live in our home, we have to pay for it. In order for us to buy food, to have food, we have to buy it. In order for us to help someone, a lot of times we need finance to be able to do that. We need the money, you know. So that's my take on it. We have to have solutions, you know, and keep this in mind. We should never have a back and forth with two people when there's many people involved either. You know, it should never be like that, because that's also part of the problem. You know, me, for instance, I come on here, you know, with the three of us, I want to hear from the three of us, not really hear a back and forth, you know. So we have to also be mindful of that, because that just kind of shows that we're not involving everyone. So it's like if we went to Jamaica, we can't just be there talking amongst ourselves. We have to involve the people that's there. You know, we want to know what's going on in everybody's mind, you know. So because in my opinion, what just took place doesn't solve the problem. We have to be willing to, I'm a good listener and I'm also a good talker, but I'm also a person who can say, you know what? Let me hear from Andrew. You know what? Let me hear from Anna. You know, and we have to be able to do that. You know, we here for a solution, not just to like keep the back and forth, you know, because that's what our people actually do, to be honest. You know, I run a basketball program. Majority of the people are from my island and you guys' island, which is Jamaica. And I'll be honest, if I'm having a discussion with a couple different cultures, they all have their ways. But I can promise you that if I'm playing a basketball game and my Jamaican players got into it with the other team, that's never going to end. That's never going to end. You know, because we get so passionate about something that we're discussing, and it could just lead to an ongoing, non-stop back and forth. You know, and we don't really want to be that way because that's not a solution. You know, when there's a group of people, you want to actually hear from the group. And the next thing that we possibly need to do, not even possibly, the next thing we need to do is have a time where every member is like speaking, and keep it like that. It can't be a thing where, you know, like how I'm speaking right now, I basically disappeared out the conversation. It can't be like that. And that's just me honestly speaking, because that's not what we on here for. We have to be able to come together, put a time on it, and show people that we are working together and we have a solution to the problem. Because we really can't ask people to listen to us. It needs to be us. We all need to do better and have like 5 minutes, 3 minutes, 2 minutes, whatever it takes. We need to discuss that. That way, when we're having this discussion on the YouTube, you know, it's not just one or two people going back and forth. And again, that's just me being honest. So what do you guys have to say about that?
All right.
I agree.
All right. Listen to what, master. As you are the host, you need to set the rules because um it's you brought the topic up, even though we're talking about it. But if there's no rules, as I say, we can't just we gotta and we do respect each other. And it was a chiming situation at this moment without rules. So you need to set the rules them and then we will follow the rules. You know what I mean? So you're hosting everything. So set the rules or you state the rules them before we even start talking. So because in this sense is like we're going at it and it's a chiming situation instead of say, well, all right, you have the floor for 5 minutes or you go next or whatever, because there's no set time, maybe have a timer or something like that, and then no, we should discuss the topics based on like individual parts of the topics. Like say for instance, we're going to talk about what we see as the problem, and everybody have their own opinion of what the problems are, and then now we can discuss maybe if we see the problem, because nobody's going to see it, none of us are going to see the problems in the same light or the same way. So, and we're all going to see different kind of problems because we all deal with stuff differently or experience stuff differently through our own eyes. So, based on what we experience with people or stuff that happened to us, then we can come up with a way, or we can have a solution to the problems, because that's where the disagreement comes in, because no two everybody have different experience. So no two person is gonna have the same experience. So it's gonna be a different solution to the problem. But that don't mean that we can't come together and put our heads together to try and figure it out. You know what I mean? Because even though we look at it this way, when if we talk to somebody in Jamaica and everybody is, they're gonna look at it differently. You know what I mean? Because there are gonna be people that's gonna disagree and some that's gonna agree with everybody. That's the reason why you have different politicians and people always win based on like they will sell people ideas and they know, you know, somebody might win, but they're not gonna have your idea at heart to say, well, that's what they're gonna do. Because you didn't want this person to win because they sell your story about what they're gonna do and you believe them. So, you know, it is a common thing to maybe like, you know, figure stuff out, even though you say it's financial problem, but you got to think about it too. Like a lot of people don't understand finance. So, you know, a lot of people you're going to have to start with teaching them ABC before them learn finance. You know what I mean? So, as I said before, I think for Jamaica to be a better place, and you can look at history when people couldn't read or write, they're marching for human rights. And I think Jamaica need natural human rights. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think that's, you know, if you peel it all away, it doesn't matter about the finance if you really look at it, because even they help, it's not everybody is going to be help out a situation with finance. You know what I mean? What about the ones them that don't understand it or can't read and can't write to understand it? But once people have common human rights, you know what I mean, get treated with dignity, you know, everybody get treated basically fair, because it's never going to be fair across the board. You know, I think once people can have common decency of how to treat people, you know, you're going to help some people, but and everybody are going to help. You know, it's about finance, yes, but it's not, finance is not going to fix everything. You know, people need to really wake up and get, you know, get rights and keep it and keep it that way, and not just march for 5 minutes or, you know, boycott. And then now when things can't, because you always have to be fighting for something, especially in this country, you know, because look at what happened. Um, we thought everything was good and everybody was okay until this thing happened, as you say, with COVID, you know what I mean? It happened and look what happened. You know, even with this past president, you know, we never know, say, I'm happy you won. I'm glad to Donald Trump won, because there's a lot of stuff that opened my eyes up to things that I wouldn't have seen, because this country been like this for decades. Now, if you see all of these racist people come out and doing things, you open up your eyes, you know. And a lot of people say, I'm not glad same win, because I'm just glad that he won so we can actually see that the fight is not over. Because Black people tend to relax when they think that everything is okay because we have a little job. We are doing a little thing and we're good, we're comfortable. But guess what? People is out there trying to suppress us every single day. So the fight can never stop. The next thing is it for this time to come around. I'm happy that, you know, and we should be happy that our kids could learn something from this, because this is something that is not going to be taught or wasn't going to be taught in a textbook or in school, that they can see it in life for real, that there is racism out there and there's people out there that's just keep trying to put us back in slavery, you know. So, you know, I think based on, you know, everything that's going on, people just really need to stand up, because, you know, your finance is going to fix a lot of problems. But guess what? In order to get Jamaica to where it is, which, you know, financially, it's hard to deal with a country like that. People have to just really, the money is there, so it have to come from within. You know, the money is already in Jamaica with everything. You know, you guys going on there, SEO, you know, the buildings, the companies that's down there.
And all they do is raping the country. So guess what? Them have to spend the money and you have to make them spend it. Because pouring the problem, you're only gonna maybe get to reach a couple people, but the core people them that need the help, it's not gonna really get it. And it's gonna be sad to say years to come, nothing is gonna change. And that's my outlook on it. And I think I went on too long, but I know you're still there.
Funny.
Yeah, can I say something?
Go ahead.
Okay, so foremost, let me just say, Andrew, it was a pleasure talking to you.
I love it.
I really enjoyed it. And Mr. Zavon,
Yes.
we were not going back and forth. We're two different individuals with two different minds, two different opinions. Sometimes when you care and you love something so much, you tend to get a little passionate, but it doesn't mean bumping heads. So we weren't bumping heads, we were more like sharing different opinions on basically touching on every little areas in our own diverse way. And like Andrew was saying, I agree with everything he says. And like me, we are two different minded people. And at the end of the day, I agree also with you. It's not about my opinion or his opinion. It's all about solution. And that's what we hear, because everything that I said and he said is basically on the minds of millions of people.
Yep.
So to have that drawn up will draw attention, because you can make a solution, but that doesn't mean someone will agree with your solution. So by bringing up certain questions and certain aspects of any type of conversation, we have to address every single thing. So again, it was such a pleasure talking to you, Andrew. Like, I really had fun.
What I was really saying was, when, for instance, use my company or any company, for instance, let's just say you have 5 members, 5 board members. The 5 board members are there for a reason, to discuss a topic. And when they're discussing the topic, they make sure each individual has their point to make. Don't want it, even though what you guys were doing, it was a good discussion, but what I was saying was, you never want it to be like it's just the 2 people that's on, and that's the way it looked to me. So that's what I was saying. It's like when we did the stocks the other day, you know, I'm there for my expertise, and Alan is there for his expertise. So me and Alan will go back and forth. If I feel like I'm going too long, what I do is I'll stop and ask Alan, because if you notice, when I'm, running the YouTube, I'm always stopping and say, hey, Andrew, you have anything? Hey, Anna, you have anything along the way? So I know we all can get passionate about, whatever, drives us, whatever our passion is. But along the way, because there's other people involved, you're always going to see me ask Anna, what do you have to say? Andrew, what do you have to say? Because I don't want it to be where everyone is just listening to me, and listening to me talk. It's not just about me talking, because even I feel a way if I'm sitting there just talking about the stocks and sharing the information that I know, but then I want to know what, you guys have to say, or any questions you may have for me. Me and Andrew, we're kind of like the head of the game right now, where we both do our research, so you guys may count on us. But Pierre, who has been on every time we've done it since we've started, he's probably like the third person, where he's going to be doing his research and sharing it with us. I want to build a strong group, and that's basically what I'm saying. I want all of us to have our opinions. I want all of us to be mindful of saying, hey, Andrew, hey, Anna, hey, what do you think? You know, not necessarily, and for you guys to even stop me along the way. One of the greatest thing about me is I don't like to cut people off. So if you're talking, you probably won't get me to jump in. I know if Andrew is talking, Anna, you may say, Andrew, I disagree with that, and vice versa. Andrew, you may say, Anna, I disagree with that. That's just not my style. And we are all different. I get that. But it's not my style to cut somebody off while they are speaking on a topic because I actually like to listen. I don't like to, like if Andrew is talking, yes, Andrew, you started talking, and yes, you were talking, and you even caught yourself and say, I think I spoke too long. But that's you. I don't necessarily like to jump in and cut you off. Why? Because you're making points, you're listening, you're speaking, and I'm still trying to listen. But I feel like it's up to you to say, okay, Anna, okay, Savon. You see what I'm saying? I don't like to cut people off when they're talking. That's just something about me.
All right, but here what happened. In a setting like this, you need a mediator. So you're gonna have to be a mediator, whether you like to cut people off or not, because somebody gonna have to keep the time, and you're gonna have more people. No, you're gonna have to do it like that. I've done something like this before. We need somebody to mediate the conversation because, and then now you gotta set up the topic in a way where the discussion is leading a certain kind of way instead of, because when a person start to talk and you know they will,
Okay,
if
Andrew,
we're gonna
sorry to cut you off.
discuss
Andrew,
if we
Andrew, sorry to cut you off.
Hmm?
You couldn't even hear
Huh?
me. You
Hmm?
couldn't even hear me. I was doing that purposely. I was like, sorry to cut you off. Sorry to cut you
No, but yeah, that's what I'm saying to you. Like, you know, it have to be mediated in a where you have somebody that's like you know the host, you're taking control of it and say, well, all right, this is what we're gonna discuss, and we're gonna keep it in this frame instead of, because then no, you're gonna have people now that gonna not be watching the time. It don't have to necessarily be us three tonight, you know, it can be somebody else in the future. So, you know, you can frame it at the beginning of the program and say, all right, this is the direction that we're gonna go in, and we're gonna keep it in this direction. We're gonna only discuss this in a certain, like you would say, tonight, we're gonna discuss how um we can help people financially in Jamaica. Instead of, well, the topic was broad because the topic was to basically touch on everything that we touched on. So basically now I would just discuss that, you know, financially in Jamaica, this is how we can help people. Instead of going to say, well, me helping people or whatever. You get what I'm saying to you? So we're only discussing that because when you leave it so broad now, it's gonna extend to way out more than what you know you would want it to be. So we keep it in a certain kind of circle where people can really understand what we're talking about. And then now we can touch on other topics like you know you structure it in a way where where it goes into other stuff. But when it's this broad now, where we're talking about Jamaica, period, then it's so much to talk about that, you know, it's gonna go everywhere that it needs to go. So somebody have to meet when you're doing like these things, somebody have to really mediate it, keep track of the time. And you know, you ask the questions, you know, like, you know, and then, you know, keep it back and keep it going like round in a circle. So we can just discuss one topic and stick to the one topic. And then maybe the next time we go to the other one, it can be in the same realm, you know what I mean? It can be about the same thing, but to discuss it different all the time, you know what I mean? Instead of just try to, we discuss it all at once, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, gotta come with a plan. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I just know like people attention span is kind of short too, most people. So we have
Yes.
to come with a structure to where one person is not really talking too long because then you'll lose people. So that's something to keep in mind as well.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying to you. You as the host, you know what I mean? And I think if you're checking people, then now it's tend not to a person will remember that, guess what? I only have 2 minutes. I'll be like, your 2 minutes is up. It's like having a newscaster. Like they will have a host on and they will have people come on and be like, oh, well, they have 2 minutes. And they will kick them off before, you know what I mean? Like, oh, we have 2 minutes. I have you one last question to ask, one last question to ask. So basically, you have to kind of mediate it between me and Anna. So, well, all right, we're going to talk about this. And then now, you structure it in a way where within even the questions that you ask, then there's other stuff can stem from that. So we discuss it in pieces instead of cramming everything, because I cram so much stuff in tonight's topic. You know what I mean? It's a lot, because a lot of stuff that we discuss tonight, we can pick it up next time and discuss it again, but it's not everybody. When we realize if you care about your country, you're going to be passionate about it because it hurts you that much. People, if you're talking to somebody and they might say, oh, me not care about none of them, the whole of them can go dead. They don't care. You know what I mean? So people who care tend to get passionate because it hurts them to see like where they come from and what's going on. They don't like it. But anybody who don't care, them could have care less to even listen to what we have to say. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Anna, you there? Anna.
I'm here. I'm listening to you guys talk. I'm listening.
All right, listen. You hear Andrew, right? He said, "Oh, you gotta come up with a plan. 3 minutes. Ask him, Anna, if we don't come up with that plan there already. Ask him. Why you ask him? Ask him.
We could.
No, we could. We did. That's what I'm saying. Ask him.
We did. And I guess our passions run over the time. I'm sorry.
But what may I say, like, just have something in front of you, you know what I mean? And you be because the thing when I tell you I start up, it's gonna be the same thing. You know what I mean? It's gonna be basically what we're dealing with tonight. And you have to control the setting. You know what I mean? You as the host have to say, all right, next person or, try to keep it within this time, and then when you call, oh, you have 2 minutes, a person I go remember say, oh, listen to me, at 2 minutes, I have to discuss what I have in that 2 minutes. And I think 2 minutes is too long for somebody like
Andrew, really?
No, seriously, think about it. If a person get a minute, because you can't discuss the same thing, but you give everybody a chance to go on a minute and you can come back to that person. You get what I'm saying to you? And they can really...
All right, watch this. Another time you. Another time you. One discussion. All right, watch this. But you have 1 minute. What's the solution to the problem?
All right, so
it's
I already tell you what the solution. So I'm gonna talk to you a minute now, and then now what I'm saying to you now, like for instance, I'm discussing this with you. So when it goes around the table now, Anna pick up, she can even come back and pick up from her point that she was talking about. And then everybody get them piece, because sometimes when a person talks so long, you might have something to say, and then now because they talk so much, you forget what they said in the first part of it. You understand what I say? So, keeping it short and sweet, then you can keep it very close where, you hear what they're saying and you remember. But like if I'm going on for like 3-4 minutes and I said something at the first part of the 3-4 minutes, by the time I get to the end, I'll be like, what did I want to say to him again about what he said? But if it's like a minute, then you're going to remember. Then the discussion, sometimes it would change what you're thinking to, and then you can come in with something else, you know what I mean? But you have to just mediate it like that, because it don't necessarily have to be us. It can be other people. When them come on, you have to have somebody that's the host, that, like a talk show, and then they just keep everybody in line, say, you have 2 minutes, are you 2 minutes up? Even if me not finish what I say, my 2 minutes is up, or my 1 minute or whatever.
and keep it in that realm, because then now when everybody start just run free, then it's a different thing, you know?
What? Andrew, you're finished, man.
Hmm?
You're finished within 2 minutes.
Exactly. So, you know, so you gotta just, you know, you have to mediate it like that, because then it will get out of control. Whether it's me, you,
You're
and
two
other
minutes
people.
done.
Huh? No, what may I say? I think it's a back and forth we're doing now. What may I say now? Like, if we do it like that, then we should be good. You know what I mean? But you just mediate it, you know?
Yeah.
And once you mediate it, we should be good, you know? Because if you say, yo, you're 2 minutes done, they can't keep talking, because then you're disrespecting the whole thing that you're trying to do, you know? So
All right. Well,
I
like I
love the
said
discussion.
earlier,
Like Anna passion, very passionate, you know? So, you know, and
and a real Jamaican. I'm a fake
yeah, I
Jamaican.
like that. She's very passionate. So, you know, and there's gonna be more. What we can do is invite more people, and the more people we invite, some people maybe have to just listen, because you know, once you have so much people on, or you can set it up where, you know, me and you and Anna come on today, or maybe three other people come on tomorrow, because everybody have a different point of view. You know what I mean? And then we just do it like that for how much ever time. Just spread it out, because everybody can't be on at once. You know, because the time is not there for that. You know.
Honestly,
Mm.
I see plenty of people do it, where you could have even 20, 25 people on, and what they do is they talking, and they still, like you say, mediate it and just say, hey, let's hear from such and such and such.
Mhm.
That way that it's timed, and this, let's just say, like I have guests here with me right now, and she was
Mhm.
saying to me, write things down. Like if you're talking, write down things that I want to address. And I was doing that, but I didn't address them, but I was writing as you were speaking on some points. That way when it came my turn to speak, I had it there to speak about it, but I had stopped writing, but I know I've watched people have discussions where it was probably for a minute, and then the next person went, and then so on and so on. And it always got back to that next person to where they had their points they wanted to make again when they had their turn again. So that's kind of like what we'll try to do.
Yeah, it will work though. It will work, because once people have discipline, it will work. You know. And
Takes 3 weeks to form a good habit or a bad one.
huh?
Takes 3 weeks to form a good habit or a bad one.
No, we shouldn't go by old saying. You
No,
can
it's
get
not.
rid of.
Listen, I
Mm.
use that on my basketball team. That's not an old saying. That's something that if you practice something, it's going to change. If you
Yeah,
practice,
but that analogy, it doesn't go for everything. You know what I mean? Because some things, if you don't change it immediately, can be detrimental. So it's only, you know, that only apply to certain things in life. You know what I mean?
all right, list something that you could change immediately.
I'm gonna tell you something. If you go to jail and the judge say, listen to me, I'm gonna let you out tomorrow morning and you stop thief, or you go to jail for 40 years the next time, you're not gonna change that today? You know, take it 3 weeks. You
Not,
change it right now.
not everybody,
Uh,
no. You might change that right
No,
now.
what I'm saying to you, some things, that's what I'm saying to you. Some things like that is not gonna work for everything. It's gonna work for some things in life. Not everybody is gonna work for it.
All
You
right.
know what I'm saying? Because some situation in a life you have to change immediately. Like if you go to the doctor and him tell you, say, if you not stop eat XYZ by tomorrow, you're gonna dead the next day. You gotta change it today. So it doesn't work for everything, because that's a habit. Your eating habits is what's killing you. And if him say if you don't change it by tomorrow or stop smoke by the next day, you can't take 2, 3 weeks to deal with it. You have to stop now, or else you don't have a life. So some things in a life that doesn't apply to you, apply to certain things, but anything in life, a lot of things doesn't apply to it. You have to just use it and use it to your advantage and use it to how it benefits you, because it's not gonna benefit everybody the same way, you know. So no two situation is the same, and you know, and
it's not a one thing fit all situation. You know what I mean?
In
Anyway,
life, we work with percentage. Because if you're in a classroom with 30 people and all 30 people was gonna listen, then that's a perfect world. We don't live in a perfect world. We live in an imperfect world. So we're working with percentage. So when we're saying it takes 3 weeks to form a good or bad habit, yeah, we know it's common sense that it's not going to go for everybody. But I'm not worried about everybody. We can't help everybody. We're talking about a percentage. So if I'm speaking to 10 people, I already know if I told 10 people, hey, work on this habit, forming a good habit in 3 weeks. Most people are going to try it, and most of them is going to accomplish it. Now, for the ones who didn't listen, and it might not work for them, they didn't listen to it. We're talking about percentage. So when I say that it goes for a percentage, if I'm training my basketball team and I said, listen, you got 3 weeks to make a layup, else you're not gonna make this team. Then guess what? You got 3 weeks. It's my concept and it works. It works for 8 out of 10 people. The 2 people that it didn't work for, guess what? 80% of the people is on my team.
well, that's not the team, that's individual.
Well, individual, listen, what I do can affect you if me and you is on the same team.
Yeah, but what I'm saying to you is individually dealing with at the moment. You know what I mean? So it's not the whole team. Is like, say for instance, if 1 or 2 people can make a layup, is each individual person you have to count on to create the team. You know what I mean? So in that way, it doesn't work for everybody. You know what I mean? So certain knowledges in life is not gonna be suitable for everyone. You know what I mean? It's just you have to take what you can take out that and make it work to your advantage. You know?
Well, I mean, that's why there's rich, middle class, and poor, because you have to choose which side you want to be in. You have to choose which analogy works for you. And that's why it's put out there like that. When I'm studying, I have to study and I have to fit to the puzzle what works for me.
You're right.
And that's it. And I get places in life based off of me fitting what I see works for me. And if it's working, I'm going to keep it. And I'm going to keep adding to it. You know, and that's it, because you can't help everyone. You know, and I know I'm part of sports. That's my thing. And I know the kids that I've helped over the years, a lot of them live by that concept, that if you want to form a good habit, do it for at least 3 weeks. We're not perfect. We use 3 weeks. It could be done sooner based off of how hard you want to get this thing accomplished. But we set a goal. And that goal is, let's put it out there that you have 3 weeks. And a lot of people, when they do that, they just accomplish what they set out to accomplish because they set a goal. So it basically is a goal to make you reach what you're reaching for. And some people might not use it. All right.
We're gonna link up soon. Anna, respect.
Likewise.
Thank you for staying up.
And
Of course.
thank you guys for being on. Appreciate it. Before we go, how is stocks doing? And I know you bought some. How is it doing?
CNET is doing really, really good, to be honest. Roblox, not so great, but CNET that you recommended, I can see why you recommended it. It's doing really good.
Awesome. And it's just just hold it. Don't worry about what it does. And it looks good now and it could look bad tomorrow and it could look great and it could look horrible. Just keep it. And keep adding to it.
That's exactly what I'm going to do.
Yep, and I'll tell you this. I showed it on the YouTube before. I take my phone and I put it in there, and I show that I put $10 in Bitcoin in October 27th, and right now it's 40 something dollars. So I turned $10 into 40 something dollars. And if I put $10 in the bank from October 2020, it'll be $10 and probably 2 pennies right now. And right now it's 42 and some change.
Yep, you're right.
Yep. So, and I show it right on the YouTube, so I do my research and I put my money where it's going to grow, and I share it on the YouTube. So for anybody out there who wants to try their best to change their finance, come away from the struggle, just start thinking, about spending wisely. I do it every day where I don't touch none of the stocks that I have invested in already. I don't sell nothing. I don't take no money out, and I find new money to invest. Every day I hear of a new app, a new exchange, and I download it to my phone. I'm working on Uphold right now. Uphold. Uphold. That's the name of it. You can download it. I use that right now, and I use it to buy cryptocurrencies. And I started with the limit in there is $10, and I started buying cryptocurrency with $10. So for anybody out there who say they don't have any money or any time to invest, time is money. I pretty much invest $10 at a time. And do me a favor and guess how much money is in that Uphold account. And I got so many different platforms, and I just basically get up and say, you know what? Let me just put $10 here. Let me put $10 over there. How much money do you think I have in Uphold? And I started it maybe 3 weeks now. How much money do you guys guess I have in Uphold right now from putting $10 each time? And it's been 3 weeks.
$50.
Okay. Andrew, what's your guess?
How long ago you said?
I started it 3 weeks ago, and I've been putting $10, buying a few crypto here and there. For the last 3 weeks, I started it with $10, and I've just been putting $10 in there each and every chance I get. Anna said $50.
What is each and every chance? $10 a week or $10 every other day?
Well, I'm not gonna give that away. You tell me.
You have to. You can't tell me.
Big boy, you want me to break it down? I'm just telling you.
$10 every chance you get. So I want to know how many chances you got to put $10 in.
Well, you trying to get the exact number, but I like the way Anna just threw her number out there. But I'm gonna give you, all right, Anna just threw her number out there, but I'm gonna give you the breakdown.
I have about $110 in there.
Huh?
$110.
All right, I'm gonna give you the breakdown since you asked for it. So you threw $110, Anna threw $50. So I'm gonna give you the breakdown. Okay, so I started it 3 weeks ago, and I would tell you this: every single day, I buy something for at least $10 every single day, sometimes $30 every day. Every day since. $10, $10, 10, some days 0, some days 20, some days 30.
Every single day.
Some days 0.
Maybe like, you want me to guess again?
Yeah. I broke it down for you, so you wanted the breakdown. So,
350.
350? All right, Anna, you want a second chance, or are you sticking with your 50?
I'm gonna stick with my 50. I'm gonna stick with my 50.
All right. All right, I'm gonna bring it up. Hold on. I'm gonna bring up my Uphold. And I'm telling you, for those of you who say that you ain't got no money, you can't afford it right now, I'm gonna bring it up. Uphold. All right, what does that say?
Can't say it.
No, not you. I'm asking someone. You can say it. Why? Speak it. Say it. Say it. You can say it. Go ahead. He's silly gonna show it. All right, let me show it. All right. Can you see it? I don't think you can see it. You see it?
Yeah, I can. Oh, wow.
We can't see it. Hold on.
I see it. It says 438.92.
Kind of come close.
Yeah, you come closer. You gave that 3 something.
350.
Yeah. Yep. So 438. Man, Anna, you got good eyes because guess what? I couldn't see it. It wasn't looking clear on the screen, but you saw it well. And listen, that's Uphold. And keep in mind, it's not like that's all I have to put. There's other apps that I'm using. So you're talking about $10 just adding up. And that's just an Uphold only. I got my other phone here, money in there too. I'm doing $10 here and there in this one too. So I'm gonna tell you, I have at least 10 apps. So just imagine I'm putting money in all of them, every single where. And I just started this one 3 weeks ago. And that's just putting small money. But guess what? The small money adds up. And these stocks didn't even really, these crypto didn't even move yet. XRP been at the same amount. They didn't even move yet. Why? And they go down a lot. As a matter of fact, how about this? I totally forgot. How about this? I actually invested more than 438.92 because I'm down. I'm down. Does that make sense to you guys? Hello?
I'm here. I mean, wow. All I can say is wow.
I invest more than this. I'm just down right now because crypto is very volatile. It goes down. Listen, you could have 438 and it'll drop down to 350 and then go back up to 600. You see what Bitcoin is doing, right? Yep. Yep. And guess what? This is not, I don't invest in Bitcoin in here. It's XRP, it's ADA, EOS, XLM, Dogecoin, and a little Ethereum. Those things dropping. They don't really go up as much except for ADA. So I'm not winning yet. So believe I invested at least $500.
Long term,
Doing 10 here, 20 there, 30 there.
long term, you're gonna win.
Yeah, definitely, because that's gonna jump. But you see the same way I just showed you guys that on the phone? That's the way I've been doing it in Coinbase since like 2017. So imagine what $10, $20 been doing since 2017. I've been at that for a while, since 2017. And this is only 3 weeks. So we're in 2021.
A lot of these stocks are not going anywhere. Like even like GE, I was looking at GE today, I think. You know, I mean, no time to put money in them stock because them companies not going anywhere. They're gonna go up.
Can't
Or-
hear you.
So like GE, I was looking at GE today, right? GE is down a lot because them companies not going anywhere. They're just gonna go up because they're not going anywhere. So GE, Ford, all of them companies, you know. So, long term, you gotta look at it long term. You stay in it for the long run, and then you're gonna get.
I was talking about Pfizer the other day on the YouTube channel, where I was telling I was mentioning that Pfizer, who have their vaccine out right now with Moderna, Pfizer stock been about $37 on average for the last year. They haven't really moved. The highest they went is a little bit to the 40s, but on average, they're about $37, $38 a share. And Pfizer is a big company, so if you put $10,000 in Pfizer, it would mainly be $10,000 still, or go down to about about maybe 9,500, because the stock isn't moving that much, or you're not gaining. If you did gain, you probably gained 10,500. So you're really not making that much money if you put your money in Pfizer. But when everybody starts getting back to normal, where it feel like, COVID is controlled, 5 years from now, Pfizer may double. So that $10,000 could turn into $20,000. So if a stock's not moving right now, if it's a good stock, you got to be patient with it, and it will, make you money. But there is stocks that's making you money quicker, but you have to do your research to know. And obviously, I know those stocks that's making you money now. And Anna, CNET, you ain't seen nothing yet. That's a rhyme.
I'm ready. I'm ready for it.
Yeah, talk about 5 years. As soon as the country, if everything goes well and they start opening up back this year, watch out for that. Not even 5 years,
Watch out for which one? The
Pfizer.
Pfizer, right?
Yeah. Not even 5 years.
Yeah.
Mhm. As soon as everything, a lot of these companies, as soon as stuff open up back and stuff start rolling, then a lot of these companies.
Yep.
Mhm.
All right. Going to my bed.
Me too. All right, honest. We'll link up, yeah.
Yeah, man. Bless up yourself. Good night, Savon.
Good night, Anna.
It was nice talking to you, man.
All right.
All right.
All
Thank
right,
you.
we'll link up, Shav.
Yes, sir.
All right, look more.
Yeah.
Mhm.